Brown Bear, What Do You See? By Eric Carle.
Brown bear, what do you see? I see a red bird looking at me. Red bird, what do you see? I see a yellow duck looking at me. Yellow duck, what do you see? I see a blue horse looking at me. Blue horse, what do you see? I see a green frog looking at me. Green frog, what do you see? I see a purple cat looking at me. Purple cat, what do you see? I see a white dog looking at me. White dog, what do you see? I see a black sheep looking at me. Black sheep, what do you see? I see a goldfish looking at me. Goldfish, what do you see? I see a teacher looking at me. Teacher, what do you see? I see children looking at me. Children, what do you see? We see a brown bear, a red bird, a yellow duck, a blue horse, a green frog, a purple cat, a white dog, a black sheep, a goldfish, and teacher looking at us. That's what we see.
Papa, please get the moon for me. Read Aloud book by Eric Carle.
Before Monica went to bed, she looked out of her window and saw the moon. The moon looked so near. I wish I could play with the moon, thought Monica, and reached for it. But no matter how much she stretched, she could not touch the moon. Papa, said Monica to her father, please get the moon for me. Papa got a very long ladder. He carried the very long ladder towards a very high mountain. Then Papa put the very long ladder on top of the very high mountain. Up and up and up, he climbed. Finally, Papa got to the moon. My daughter Monica would like to play with you, said Papa, but you are much too big. Every night I get a little smaller, said the moon. When I am just the right size, you can take me with you. And indeed, the moon got smaller and smaller and smaller. When the moon was just the right size, Papa took it. Down and down and down, he climbed. Here, said Papa to Monica, I have the moon for you. Monica jumped and danced with the moon. She hugged the moon and threw it into the air. But the moon kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and finally it disappeared altogether. Then, one night, Monica saw a thin sliver of the moon reappear. Each night the moon grew, and grew, and grew.
Brown Bear, What Do You See? Book by Eric Carle.
Brown bear, what do you see? I see a red bird looking at me. Red bird, what do you see? I see a yellow duck looking at me. Yellow duck, what do you see?
Dream Snow, read-aloud book by Eric Carle.
On a small farm there lived a farmer. He had only a few animals. He could count them on the fingers of one hand. So the farmer named his animals 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. By the end of the barn stood a small tree. The farmer named it Tree. "Hello, Tree," he would say when he passed it. The farmer took good care of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 every day. He fed them and cleaned their stalls. In the evening, when his farm work was done, he went to his house. Then he sat in his favorite chair, drank a cup of hot peppermint tea, and ate a slice of bread with honey on it. One night, as he sat there, the farmer felt very cozy and a bit tired. "Heavens," he said, yawning. "It's almost Christmas, and it hasn't snowed yet." With that, he fell asleep. Soon he dreamed of falling snowflakes. They gently covered him with a white blanket. The snowflakes gently covered one with a white blanket. The snowflakes gently covered 2 with a white blanket. The snowflakes gently covered 3 with a white blanket. The snowflakes gently covered 4 with a white blanket. The snowflakes gently covered 5 with a white blanket. Farmer woke up from his dream, looked out of his window and saw snow. It was not dream snow. It was real snow. It had snowed while he had napped. Now the snow cloud had moved away. The moon and stars sparkled in the wintry night sky. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 were safe and fast asleep. "Oh my," cried the farmer. "I almost forgot." Quickly, he put on his warm coat, his warm boots, his warm hat, and his warm gloves. He grabbed a box, slung a sack over his shoulder, and dashed outside. Running past 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, the farmer shouted, "I almost forgot! I almost forgot!" Waking up to animals. They looked and wondered what the farmer was up to now. They watched as he unpacked the box and emptied the sack. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 watched as he decorated Tree. Then he shouted,
Does a Kangaroo have a mother too? By Eric Carle.
Does a kangaroo have a mother too? Yes, a kangaroo has a mother just like me and you. Does a lion have a mother too? Yes, a lion has a mother just like me and you. Does a giraffe have a mother too? Yes, a giraffe has a mother just like me and you. Does a penguin have a mother too? Yes, a penguin has a mother just like me and you. Does a swan have a mother too? Yes, a swan has a mother just like me and you. Does a fox have a mother too? Yes, a fox has a mother just like me and you. Does a dolphin have a mother too? Yes, a dolphin has a mother just like me and you. Does a sheep have a mother too? Yes, a sheep has a mother just like me and you. Does a bear have a mother too? Yes, a bear has a mother just like me and you. Does an elephant have a mother too? Yes, an elephant has a mother just like me and you. Does a monkey have a mother too? Yes, a monkey has a mother just like me and you. And do animal mothers love their babies? Yes, yes, of course they do. Does a kangaroo have a mother too? Yes, a kangaroo has a mother like me and you. Does a kangaroo have a mother too? Yes, a kangaroo has a mother just like me and you. Does a sheep have a mother too? Yes, a sheep has a mother just like me and you. Does a bear have a mother too? Yes, a bear has a mother just like me and you. Does an elephant have a mother too? Yes, an elephant has a mother just like me and you. Does a monkey have a mother too? Yes, a monkey has a mother just like me and you. And do animal mothers love their babies? Yes, yes, of course they do. Animal mothers love their babies just as yours loves you.
Baby Bear, What Do You See? By Eric Carle.
Baby bear, what do you see? I see a red fox looking at me. Red fox, what do you see? I see a flying squirrel gliding by me. Flying squirrel, what do you see? I see a mountain goat climbing near me. Mountain goat, what do you see? I see a blue heron fishing by me. Blue heron, what do you see? I see a prairie dog digging near me. Prairie dog, what do you see? I see a striped skunk strutting by me. Striped skunk, what do you see? I see a mule deer running by me. Mule deer, what do you see? I see a rattlesnake sliding by me. Rattlesnake, what do you see? I see screech owl hooting by me. Screech owl, what do you see? I see a mama bear looking at me. Mama bear, what do you see? I see a red fox, a flying squirrel, a mountain goat, a blue heron, a prairie dog, a striped skunk, a mule deer, a rattlesnake, a screech owl, and my baby bear looking at me. That's what I see.
The Artist Who Painted a Blue Horse by Eric Carle. I am an artist, and I paint with care on canvas or paper colors everywhere. Once an artist painted a horse so blue its color was a wonder fresh and new. The next page showed a crocodile in red aside, so fierce it filled you with dread. A yellow cow appeared on page number 3, a gentle creature as far as we can see. The fourth page showed a rabbit pink as a rose with floppy ears and a twitchy nose. A green lion roared on page number 5, its mane crown a symbol of pride. An orange elephant trumpeted with glee on the 6th page, as happy as can be. A purple fox appeared on the 7th with a fluffy tail and a cunning expression. A black polar bear on the 8th, so rare with a coat so dark, it seemed to disappear. And finally, on the last page, a donkey so fine with polka dots that made it look divine. As an artist, my skills are top-notch, every creation a masterpiece to watch.
The Mixed Up Chameleon, book by Eric Carle.
On a shiny green leaf sat a small green chameleon. It moved onto a brown tree and turned brownish. Then it rested on a red flower and turned reddish. When the chameleon moved slowly across the yellow sand, it turned yellowish. You could hardly see it. When the chameleon was warm and had something to eat, it turned sparkling green. But when it was cold and hungry, it turned gray and dull. When the chameleon was hungry, it sat still and waited. Only its eyes moved up, down, sideways, until it spotted a fly. Then the chameleon's long and sticky tongue shot out and caught the fly. That was its life. It was not very exciting, but one day the chameleon saw a zoo. It had never seen so many beautiful animals. The chameleon thought, how small I am, how slow, how weak. I wish I could be big and white like a polar bear. And the chameleon's wish came true. But was it happy? No. I wish I could be handsome like a flamingo. I wish I could be smart like a fox. I wish I could swim like a fish. I wish I could run like a deer. I wish I could see things far away like a giraffe. I wish I could hide in a shell like a turtle. I wish I could be strong like an elephant. I wish I could be funny like a seal. I wish I could be like people. Just then a fly flew by. The chameleon was very hungry, but the chameleon was very mixed up. It was a little of this, and it was a little of that, and it couldn't catch the fly. I wish I could be myself. The chameleon's wish came true, and it caught the fly.
Panda Bear, What Do You See by Eric Carle.
Panda Bear, what do you see? I see a bald eagle soaring by me.
Bald eagle, what do you see? I see a water buffalo charging by me. Water buffalo, what do you see? I see a spider monkey swinging by me.
Spider monkey, what do you see? I see a green sea turtle swimming by me.
Green sea turtle, what do you see?
I see a macaroni penguin strung by me.
Macaroni penguin,
what do you see? I see a sea lion splashing by me.
Sea lion, what do you see?
What do you see?
I see a red wolf sneaking by me.
Red wolf, what do you see? I see a whooping crane flying by me.
Whooping crane, what do you see? I see a black panther strolling by me. Black panther, what do you see? I see a dreaming child watching over me.
Dreaming child, what do you see? I see a panda bear, a bald eagle, water buffalo, a spider monkey, a green sea turtle, a macaroni penguin, a sea lion, a red wolf, a whooping crane, and a black panther, all wild and free. That's what I see.
Mr. Seahorse, book by Eric Carle.
Mr. and Mrs. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea. Mrs. Seahorse began to wiggle and twist this way and that. "It's time for me to lay my eggs," she said. "Can I help?" asked Mr. Seahorse. "Oh yes, thank you," said Mrs. Seahorse, and she laid her eggs into a pouch on Mr. Seahorse's belly. "I'll take good care of our eggs," said Mr. Seahorse. "I promise." As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by a group of trumpet fish hidden in a patch of reeds. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. "How are you, Mr. Stickleback?" asked Mr. Seahorse. "Delighted," replied Mr. Stickleback. "I just built a nest and right away Mrs. Stickleback laid her eggs into it. Now I am taking good care of them until they hatch." "Keep up the good work," said Mr. Seahorse, and swam on his way. As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by a lionfish hidden behind a coral reef. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. "How are you, Mr. Tilapia?" asked Mr. Seahorse. Mr. Tilapia couldn't answer. His mouth was full of eggs. I know," said Mr. Seahorse. "Mrs. Tilapia laid her eggs. Now you are taking good care of them until they hatch." Mr. Tilapia nodded his head. "You must be very happy," said Mr. Seahorse, and swam on his way. As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by a pair of leaf fish hidden among the seaweed. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. "How are you, Mr. Curtis?" asked Mr. Seahorse. "Perfectly fine," replied Mr. Curtis. "Mrs. Curtis laid her eggs, and I have stuck them on my head. Now I am taking good care of them until they hatch." "You are doing a good job," said Mr. Seahorse, and swam on his way. As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by a stonefish hidden behind a rock. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. "How are you, Mr. Pipe?" asked Mr. Seahorse. "Couldn't be better," replied Mr. Pipe. "Mrs. Pipe laid her eggs along my belly. Now I am taking good care of them until they hatch." "You should feel proud of yourself," said Mr. Seahorse, and swam on his way. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. "How are you, Mr. Bullhead?" asked Mr. Seahorse. "Tip-top," replied Mr. Bullhead. "Mrs. Bullhead laid her eggs, and the eggs hatched. Now I'm babysitting." "You are doing a fine job," said Mr. Seahorse, and swam on his way. Time had come for the seahorse babies to be born. Mr. Seahorse wiggled and twisted this way and that. At last the babies tumbled from Mr. Seahorse's pouch and swam away. One baby turned around and tried to come back into the pouch. "Oh no," said Mr. Seahorse. "I do love you, but now you are ready to be on your own."
Do You Want to Be My Friend? By Eric Carle.
"Do you wanna be my friend?"
No, said the brown horse eating the grass.
So the mouse ran on.
Do you want to be my friend?
"No," said the crocodile with the bird on her back.
So the mouse ran on.
"Do you wanna be my friend?"
No, said the lion with the golden mane.
So the mouse ran on.
Do you want to be my friend?
"No," said the hippopotamus with the great wide mouth.
So the mouse ran on.
"Do you wanna be my friend?"
No, said the seal with whiskers on his face.
So the mouse ran on.
Do you want to be my friend?
"No," said the monkey who walked with his hands.
So the mouse ran on.
"Do you wanna be my friend?"
No, said the peacock with a crown on his head.
So the mouse ran on.
Do you want to be my friend?
No, said the fox with the red fur.
So the mouse ran on.
Do you want to be my friend?
No, said the kangaroo with the baby in her pouch. So the mouse ran on.
Do you want to be my friend?
No, said the giraffe with the long neck. So the mouse ran on.
Do you want to be my friend?
Yes, said a mouse with a small gray tail.
I will be your friend.
And the two ran off to a big tree, and just in time.
Roosters Off to See the World. Book by Eric Carle.
One fine morning, a rooster decided that he wanted to travel. So right then and there, he set out to see the world. He hadn't walked very far when he began to feel lonely. Just then, he met two cats. The rooster said to them, "Come along with me to see the world." The cats liked the idea of a trip very much. "We would love to," they purred and set off down the road with the rooster. As they wandered on, the rooster and the cats met three frogs. "How would you like to come with us to see the world?" asked the rooster, eager for more company. "Why not?" answered the frogs. "We are not busy now." So the frogs jumped along behind the rooster and the cats. After a while, the roosters, the cats, and the frogs saw four turtles crawling slowly down the road. "Hey," said the rooster, "how would you like to see the world?" "It might be fun," snapped one of the turtles, and they joined the others. As the rooster, the cats, the frogs, and the turtles walked along, they came to 5 fish swimming in the brook. "Where are you going?" asked the fish. "We're off to see the world," answered the rooster. "May we come along?" pleaded the fish. "Delighted to have you," the rooster replied. And so the fish came along to see the world. The sun went down. It began to get dark. The moon came up over the horizon. "Where's our dinner?" asked the cats. "Where are we supposed to sleep?" asked the frogs. "We're cold," complained the turtles. Just then, some fireflies flew overhead. "We're afraid," cried the fish. Now the rooster really had not made any plans for the trip around the world. He had not remembered to think about food and shelter, so he didn't know how to answer his friends. After a few minutes of silence, the fish suddenly decided that it might be best if they headed for home. They wished the others a happy trip and swam away. The turtles began to think about their warm house. They turned and crawled back down the road without so much as a goodbye. Frogs weren't too happy with the trip anymore either. First one, and then the other, and finally the last one jumped away. They were polite enough, though, to wish the rooster a good evening as they disappeared into the night. The cats then remembered an unfinished meal they had left behind. They kindly wished the rooster a happy journey, and they too headed for home. Now the rooster was all alone, and he hadn't seen anything of the world. He thought for a minute and then said to the moon, "To tell you the truth, I am not only hungry and cold, but I'm homesick as well." The moon did not answer, it too disappeared. The rooster knew what he had to do. He turned around and went back home again. He enjoyed a good meal of grain and then sat on his very own perch. After a while, he went to sleep and had a wonderful happy dream all about a trip around the world.
Polar Bear, What Do You Hear? By Eric Carle.
Polar bear, what do you hear? I hear a lion roaring in my ear. Lion, lion, what do you hear? I hear a hippopotamus snorting in my ear. Hippopotamus, hippopotamus, what do you hear? I hear a flamingo fluting in my ear.
Flamingo, flamingo, what do you hear? I hear a zebra braying in my ear. Zebra, what do you hear? I hear a boa constrictor hissing in my ear. Boa constrictor, what do you hear? I hear an elephant trumpeting in my ear.
Elephant, elephant, what do you hear? I hear a leopard snarling in my ear. Leopard, leopard, what do you hear? I hear a peacock yelping in my ear.
Peacock, peacock,
What do you hear? I hear a walrus bellowing in my ear. Walrus, walrus, what do you hear? I hear a zookeeper whistling in my ear. Zookeeper, zookeeper, what do you hear? I hear children growling like a polar bear, roaring like a lion, snorting like a hippopotamus, fluting like a flamingo, braying like a zebra, hissing like a boa constrictor, trumpeting like an elephant, snarling like a leopard, yelping like a peacock, bellowing like a walrus. That's what I hear.
Slowly, 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 said the Sloth by Eric Carle.
Slowly, 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 a sloth crawled along a branch of a tree. Slowly, 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 a sloth ate a leaf. Slowly, 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 a sloth fell asleep. Slowly, 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 a sloth woke up. All day long, the sloth hung upside down in the tree. All night long, the sloth hung upside down in the tree. Even when it rained, the sloth hung upside down in the tree. Why are you so slow? The howler monkey asked one day, but the sloth didn't answer. Why are you so quiet? The caiman asked, but the sloth didn't answer. Why are you so boring? The anteater asked, but the sloth didn't answer. Tell me, said the jaguar, why are you so lazy? The sloth thought and thought and thought for a long, long, long time. Finally the sloth replied, it is true that I am slow, quiet and boring. I am lackadaisical, I dawdle and I dilly-dally. I am also unflappable, languid, stoic, impassive, sluggish, lethargic, placid, calm, mellow, laid back, and well slothful. I am relaxed and tranquil, and I like to live in peace. But I am not lazy. Then the sloth yawned and said, that's just how I am. I like to do things slowly, slowly, slowly.
The Foolish Tortoise. Written by Richard Buckley. Illustrated by Eric Carle. A tortoise, tired of being slow, impatient to get up and go, took off his large and heavy shell and left it lying where it fell. "Hooray!" he cried. "Now I have been freed. I'll see the world at double speed." Though faster, he was not express, and his protection was far less. So when he heard a hornet's drone, the tortoise crept beneath a stone. A hungry bird came swooping past. He looked so fierce and flew so fast. The tortoise hid behind some trees and felt quite weak behind the knees. "I don't feel safe. There's too much risk. If only I could be more brisk." He headed for the river bed. A fish swam up. The tortoise fled. Along his way our hero went and almost had an accident. A snake with open jaws slid near. The tortoise backed away in fear. A hare, a hound, a horse raced by. So rapidly they seemed to fly. The tortoise gasped, sat goggle-eyed. "I'll never be that quick," he sighed. He wandered on. The sun rose high. "I wish I had more shade," he cried. A sudden thunderstorm swept in and soaked the tortoise to the skin. The wind rose up, and soon the breeze was bending branches in the trees. The tortoise shivered. "Now I am cold. I wish I hadn't been so bold. I think I have lost the urge to roam. I think it's time that I went home. Without my shell, I don't feel right." So when his shell came into sight, he climbed back in and said, "Good night."
In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on the leaf. One Sunday morning, the warm sun comes up and pop. Out of the egg comes a tiny and very hungry caterpillar. He started to look for some food. On Monday, he ate through one apple, but he was still hungry. He started to look for some food. On Tuesday, he ate through 2 pears, but he was still hungry. He started to look for some food. On Wednesday, he ate through 3 plums, but he was still hungry. He started to look for some food. On Thursday, he ate through 4 strawberries, but he was still hungry. On Friday, he ate through 5 oranges, but he was still hungry. On Saturday, he ate through 1 piece of chocolate cake, 1 ice cream, 1 pickle, 1 slice of Swiss cheese, 1 slice of salami, 1 lollipop, 1 piece of cherry pie, 1 sausage, 1 cupcake, and 1 slice of watermelon. After eating so much, the caterpillar has a stomachache. The next day was Sunday again. The caterpillar ate through 1 nice green leaf, and after that he felt much better. Now he wasn't hungry anymore, and he wasn't a little caterpillar anymore. He was a big fat caterpillar. He builds a small house, called a cocoon, around himself. He stays inside for 2 weeks. Then he nibbled a hole in the cocoon, pushed his way out, and then it emerges as a beautiful butterfly. The Very Clumsy Click Beetle, book by Eric Carle.
One fine morning, a young click beetle decided to go for a walk. At noon, it climbed up and down a flower. In the afternoon, it rummaged through a pile of pebbles. In the evening, it crawled among the tall blades of grass. And when it turned night, the young click beetle crept up a tree. After a while, it got tired and fell to the ground. It landed on its back. The young click beetle tried very hard to turn over onto its feet, but it couldn't help. It cried. All along, a wise old click beetle had been watching the young click beetle. Tomorrow morning, I will teach you how to click and flip through the air and land on your feet, said the wise old click beetle. In the meantime, you may as well go to sleep. Good night. The next morning, the wise old click beetle said, "Look at me. This is how it's done. First, it turned onto its back, and then with a loud click, it flipped through the air and landed on its feet. Now you try," said the wise old beetle. "Thank you. That looks easy," replied the young click beetle. Just then, an earthworm stuck his head up out of the ground. "Look at me," said the young click beetle, and with a loud click, it flipped through the air, but it landed on its back. "How very clumsy of me," said the young click beetle. Just then, a turtle ambled by. "Better luck next time," said the turtle. "Keep trying." "Look at me," said the young click beetle. And with a loud click, it flipped through the air, but it landed on its back. "How very clumsy of me," said the young click beetle. Just then, a snail slithered by. "Don't worry," said the snail. "You'll get there." "Look at me," said the young click beetle, and with a loud click, it flipped through the air, but it landed on its back. "How very clumsy of me," said the young click beetle. Just then, a mouse scurried by. "You need a little more practice," said the mouse. "Look at me," said the young click beetle, and with a loud click, flipped through the air, but it landed on its back. Just then, oh, what was this? The young click beetle had never seen anything so big. It could not move. It was scared. "Quick, click and flip," cried the wise old click beetle who was watching. And the young click beetle clicked and flipped through the air, but this time it did 3 graceful somersaults and landed on its feet. "Look at you," shouted the wise old click beetle. "You have done."
The Very Lonely Firefly, read aloud. Story by Eric Carle.
As the sun set, a little firefly was born. It stretched its wings and flew off into the darkening sky. It was a lonely firefly, and it flashed its light, searching for other fireflies. The firefly saw a light and flew towards it. But it was not another firefly. It was a light bulb lighting up the night. Hear that noise? The firefly saw a light and flew towards it. But it was not another firefly. It was a candle flickering in the night. What's going on? The firefly saw a light and flew towards it. But it was not another firefly. It was a flashlight shining in the night, quite out there. The firefly saw a light and flew towards it. What is it? But it was not another firefly. It was a lantern glowing in the night. Hey, stop fighting! The firefly saw several lights and flew towards them. But they were not other fireflies. There was a dog and a cat and an owl, their eyes reflecting the lights. The firefly saw a light and flew towards it. But it was not another firefly. It was a car headlights flooding the night. Look, wow, it's beautiful. The firefly saw many lights and flew towards them. But they were not other fireflies. They were fireworks, sparkling, glittering, and shimmering in the night. When all was quiet, the firefly flew through the night, flashing its light, looking and searching again. Then the very lonely firefly saw what it had been looking for. A group of fireflies flashing their lights. Now the firefly wasn't lonely anymore.
The Very Busy Spider by Eric Carle.
Early one morning, the wind blew a spider across the field. A thin silky thread trailed from her body. The spider landed on a fence post near a farmyard and began to spin a web with her silky thread. "Nay, nay," said the horse. "Want to go for a ride?" The spider didn't answer. She was very busy spinning her web. "Moo, moo," said the cow. "Want to eat some grass?" The spider didn't answer. She was very busy spinning her web. "Ba, ba," bleated the sheep. "Want to run in the meadow?" The spider didn't answer. She was very busy spinning her web. "Meh, meh," said the goat. "Want to jump on the rocks?" The spider didn't answer. She was very busy spinning her web. Grunted the pig. "Want to roll in the mud?" The spider didn't answer. She was very busy spinning her web. "Uff, uff," barked the dog. "Want to chase a cat?" The spider didn't answer. She was very busy spinning her web. "Meow, meow," cried the cat. "Want to take a nap?" The spider didn't answer. She was very busy spinning her web. "Quack, quack," called the duck. "Want to go for a swim?" The spider didn't answer. She had now finished her web. "Cock-a-doodle-doo," crowed the rooster. "Want to go catch a pesky fly?" And the spider caught the fly in her web, just like that. "Woo, woo," asked the owl. "Who built this beautiful web?" The spider didn't answer. She had fallen asleep. It had been a very, very busy day.
The Very Quiet Cricket by Eric Carle.
One warm day, from a tiny egg, a little cricket was born. "Welcome," chirped a big cricket, rubbing his wings together. The little cricket wanted to answer, so he rubbed his wings together. But nothing happened, not a sound. "Good morning," whisked a locust, spinning through the air. The little cricket wanted to answer, so he rubbed his wings together. But nothing happened, not a sound. "Hello," whispered a praying mantis, scraping its huge front legs together. The little cricket wanted to answer, so he rubbed his wings together, but nothing happened, not a sound. "Good day," crunched a worm, munching its way out of an apple. The little cricket wanted to answer, so he rubbed his wings together, but nothing happened, not a sound. "Hi," bubbled a spittlebug, slurping in a sea of froth. The little cricket wanted to answer, so he rubbed his wings together, but nothing happened, not a sound. Good afternoon, screeched a cicada, clinging to a branch of a tree. The little cricket wanted to answer, so he rubbed his wings together, but nothing happened, not a sound. How are you? Hummed a bumblebee, flying from flower to flower. The little cricket wanted to answer, so he rubbed his wings together, but nothing happened, not a sound. Good evening, whirred a dragonfly, gliding above the water. The little cricket wanted to answer, so he rubbed his wings together, but nothing happened, not a sound. Good night, buzzed the mosquitoes, dancing among the stars. The little cricket wanted to answer, so he rubbed his wings together, but nothing happened, not a sound. A Luna moth sailed quietly through the night, and the cricket enjoyed the stillness. As the Luna moth disappeared silently into the distance, the cricket saw another cricket. She too was a very quiet cricket. Then he rubbed his wings together one more time, and this time he chirped the most beautiful sound that he had ever heard.
The Grouchy Ladybug by Eric Carle.
It was night, and some fireflies danced around the moon. At 5 o'clock in the morning, the sun came up. A friendly ladybug flew in from the left. It saw a leaf with many aphids on it and decided to have them for breakfast. But just then a grouchy ladybug flew in from the right. It too saw the aphids and wanted them for breakfast. Good morning, said the friendly ladybug. Go away, shouted the grouchy ladybug. I want those aphids. We can share them, suggested the friendly ladybug. Or do you want to fight me for them? If you insist, answered the friendly ladybug sweetly. It looked the other bug straight in the eye. The grouchy ladybug stepped back. It looked less sure of itself. Oh, you're not big enough for me to fight, it said. Then why don't you pick on somebody bigger? I'll do that, squeaked the grouchy ladybug. I'll show you. It puffed itself and up and flew off. At 6 o'clock, it met a yellow jacket. Hey you, said the grouchy ladybug. Want to fight? If you insist, said the yellow jacket, showing its stinger. Oh, you're not big enough, said the grouchy ladybug, and flew off. At 7 o'clock, it met a stag beetle. Hey you, said the grouchy ladybug. Want to fight? If you insist, said the stag beetle, opening its jaws. Oh, you're not big enough, said the grouchy ladybug, and flew off. At 8 o'clock, it came across a praying mantis. Hey you, said the grouchy ladybug. Want to fight? If you insist, said the praying mantis, reaching out with his long front legs. Oh, you're not big enough, said the grouchy ladybug, and flew off. At 9 o'clock, it almost flew into a sparrow. Hey you, said the grouchy ladybug. Want to fight? If you insist, said the sparrow, opening its sharp beak. Oh, you're not big enough, said the grouchy ladybug, and flew off. At 10 o'clock, it saw a lobster. Hey you, said the grouchy ladybug. Want to fight? If you insist, said the lobster, stretching its claws. Oh, you're not big enough, said the grouchy ladybug, and flew off. At 11 o'clock, it bumped into a skunk. Hey you, said the grouchy ladybug. Want to fight? If you insist, said the skunk, starting to lift his tail. Oh, you're not big enough, said the grouchy ladybug, and flew off. At 12 noon, it spotted a boa constrictor. "Hey you," said the grouchy ladybug. "Want to fight?" "If you insist," said the snake, right after lunch. "Oh, you're not big enough," said the grouchy ladybug and flew off. At 1 o'clock, it happened upon a hyena. "Hey you," said the grouchy ladybug. "Want to fight?" "If you insist," said the hyena, laughing eerily and showing its teeth. "Oh, you're not big enough," said the grouchy ladybug and flew off. At 2 o'clock, it met a gorilla. "Hey you," said the grouchy ladybug. "Want to fight?" "If you insist," said the gorilla, beating its chest. "Oh, you're not big enough," said the grouchy ladybug and flew off. At 3 o'clock, it ran into a rhinoceros. "Hey you," said the grouchy ladybug. "Want to fight?" "If you insist," said the rhinoceros, lowering its horn. "Oh, you're not big enough," said the grouchy ladybug and flew off. 4 o'clock, it encountered an elephant. "Hey you," said the grouchy ladybug. "Want to fight?" "If you insist," said the elephant, raising its big tusks. "Oh, you're not big enough," said the grouchy ladybug and flew off. At 5 o'clock, it met a whale. "Hey you," said the grouchy ladybug. "Want to fight?" But the whale did not answer at all. "You're not big enough anyway," said the grouchy ladybug and flew off. At 5:15, the grouchy ladybug said to one of the whale's flippers, "Hey you, want to fight?" But it got no answer, so it flew on. At 5:30, the grouchy ladybug said into the whale's fin, "Hey you, want to fight?" But it got no answer, so it flew on. At 5:45, grouchy ladybug said to the whale's tail, "Hey, you want to fight?" And the whale's tail gave the grouchy ladybug such a slap that it flew across the sea and across the land. At 6 o'clock, the grouchy ladybug arrived right back where it had started from. "Ah, here you are again," said the friendly ladybug. "You must be hungry. There are still some aphids left. You can have them for dinner." "Oh, thank you," said the wet, tired, and hungry ladybug. Soon all the aphids were gone. "Thank you," said the leaf. "You are welcome," answered both ladybugs, went to sleep. The fireflies, who had been sleeping all day, came out to dance around the moon.